filters. Okay, I hope everyone know what is a filter. Filter is something we restrict the data, and this is done by developer. Okay, and this is more something like, you know, you restrict the data in a report so that user can see whatever expected data they wanted to. Okay, for that we're going to create some filters. Let me tell you, there are different types of filters. One is attribute, metric, report as a filter, and filter as a filter. If you ask me which one is frequently used, the first three will be used frequently. Even filter as a filter is used sometimes. Okay. Now let's go ahead and create it. Okay. Now let's do this. Guru Prasad, create a filter. Create a filter. Okay, you are creating a filter. So why are you creating a filter now? Is to restrict some kind of data. So we're going to create attribute filter, the first option. Okay, to do that, right side on the top, don't go anywhere, don't touch the left side. Right side on the top you have a browse button, a message, double click here to add a qualification, right?
Yep.
Click on that line. So click on the first option, right side you have click OK button. Click OK button. The first option is attribute qualification, means attribute filter. Next is set qualification, that is, no, don't do anything. Set qualification is metric filter. Now what it is asking is selective attribute. You have a browse button right side, click on that. Okay, click on that. Now do this, select the brand attribute. You know, right, we have a lot of brands in the report. If we put it in the report and cost and all this stuff, we'll restrict the data there. Now, you see the qualify on elements. If you drop down on the elements, you will see their ID and description. Remember, we created brand attribute with two columns. One is brand ID, brand description. Okay, you can specify it which ID or description you want to restrict it. If we are saying elements, whatever the column we are displaying in the report, that will be by default treated. By default, the primary key is obviously the ID. It will be considered to filter the data. Let it be elements. Okay, elements. Elements means whatever displaying information. Okay, by default it takes up. You see the operator is in list, not in list. Do you see that? You want only these brands or you want to eliminate these brands? Okay, I want in list there. You can do it later, not in list. Okay, in list. Click add now. Now you see all the brands here, IDs and descriptions are available. So let's do this. Let's select the brand ID from 101 to 110. Okay, just a simple example. You can pick randomly also. You can take whatever you want as per the requirement. For now, let's take 101 to 110. Okay, click OK. Guys, the thing here is, as we keep on moving, you need to use each and every object and construct reports and everything. Okay. First thing is we see how each and every object works. Finally, when it comes to reports, we use all these ingredients, put it in the report, then dashboard, all these things will go ahead. Click OK. Click OK. Okay. Save and close it. Name it as brand. And remember, make sure you create folders in appropriate, make sure you create objects in appropriate folders. Okay, save it. You can create filter and attribute folder also. Okay, but you have to go there to pick it. Now let's go and test this, how it works. Okay, it's very easy to create it. Let me tell you, three of you, but the thing here is I want you to work on it on a at least 20-30 filters. Okay, now go to the reports folder, create a report, add a brand attribute and cost metrics, and run that. See the grid view of the data. So guys, everyone, you can see there, it's showing all the brands and respective brands, it's showing the cost. Now, go to design view of the report. Design view, okay. Now, left side, go to public objects, filters folder. Now you see in the right side you have a middle box called report filter, local filter box. What we do is you can create a filter, whatever you have done, you can directly do in the report also, or you can separately create a filter and use that in the report also. The difference here is if you create filter outside the report, you can use it anywhere in the project n number of times. If you are creating inside the report, it is used only for that particular report. You cannot reuse it anywhere. So the reusability sake, I am creating outside and using inside of the report. If you want to create inside, in the middle section, right side, you have again say message, double click here, click there. You go to the same page where you see attribute, the filter section, right? You can create from here also. As I mentioned, the difference is creating a filter outside will help you to reuse it a number of times. Inside is standalone for this particular report. Close this, cancel. Now, left side filter is there, right click on the filter. If you just double click it, it goes to that particular section. I'm just showing you, add to report filter. First option. So it got added. Let's do this. As I told you earlier, see the SQL view, see the grid view. SQL view first. So you will see here what it is doing. It is filtering where clause where brand ID equal to 101 to 110. Am I right? Three of you. See the grid view. So yeah, it's joining the tables and it's filtering the data. This is how it's created the SQL. Now see the grid view of the report. What happened? We are seeing only 10 brands because we have restricted the data to the brand equal to 101 to 110. Any questions in this particular scenario? Raman, Guru Prasad and Sundar. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Can you show me one more time? How did you add the 101 to 110? How did you add that?
I'll show you now. I'm creating one more thing. Okay. Now, but before going that, before you create a metric filter, you need to know the values actually. If you don't know the values, how you will create a metric filter? Let's say I want to see cost is greater than 30,000 and less than 70,000. In between, I want the only values. Okay, such kind of things you need to know the database data or the values which you are using. Based on that, you're going to filter the metrics. Okay, let's come back to that. As someone asked me how to create it. Save and close it. Save and close it. Okay, we'll come back to this. Put that filter report. Brand filter. That's fine. Okay. Now save and close it. So go to the filter section, filters folder. So who is sharing the screen? Guru Prasad, right?
It's me, Guru Prasad.
Okay, create another filter, Guru Prasad. Create a filter on, let's create the filter on now, probably on call center or year attribute or anything. Right side you need to double click first. No, I told you already, no need to go to attributes in that way. Okay, you can drag and drop it. It will work. But this is a standard procedure. Okay. Now click OK. Select which attribute you want to filter the data. I want call center. Second one. Click on the call center. Now what it is saying in the list of call centers, what call centers you want to filter? You want to show them or you want to eliminate them? In list, not in list. This is what the operator does. I want to show them. Click add button. Now it's up to you. What just select randomly.
Should I go ahead and create it?
Click OK. That's it. Okay. Okay. Save and close it. Just name it as call center. That's it. You can use it in the report. Okay. You can put n number of filters. That's up to you. Okay. Now this is I think someone has asked me. This is how you create a filter. Okay. Now let's go back to the thing what we were talking earlier. Okay. We have created a brand filter, and we've chosen 1 to 110 brands, and you have some values. Go back and run the report, the brand filter report, grid view. Double click on that. Okay, let's see the data actually, because before we create a metric filter, you need to analyze, you need to see the data how from what is the minimum and maximum. Can you tell me the minimum value there? 14,000 is the minimum value, and you have a maximum value, I guess 30,000, right? 38,000. Am I right or not?
Yeah.
Guys, okay. Now let's do this. Now close this report. Let's go ahead and create a metric filter. Okay. Open a metric filter. Filter. Now create a filter and do the same procedure. Instead of selecting attribute filter, now select the second option, set qualification, that is metric filter. Metric filter. Click OK. Now remember, we need to select a metric here. Select this metric there. Choose metric. Yeah, click on that. Now just obviously we have cost. Select the cost metric. Click OK. Guys, you're following, right? So what is this? You want cost exactly equal to a particular number. There is an option, drop down. You see there greater than, less than. I think yesterday Raman needed this kind of thing we were looking at. So let's do this. Click on less than or equal to or anything, greater than or equal to anything. Now type the value there. Okay. Type the value. No, we'll come to the prompts later. We just hard coding the values now. Do one thing. What do you want? You want the data, the cost data should be less than 25,000. I don't want to see more than 25,000 values in my report. Okay. Don't put the, what is that, commas. Don't put any commas. Just 25,000. Okay. Now click OK. Guys, everyone following, right? So you have a lot of operators. You can deal with anything. So I just created cost is less than or equal to 25,000. I'll see the values because we already seen there are a lot of values like 38,000, 27 and all these things. Click OK, save and close it. Name it as cost less than symbol 25K. Less than symbol 25K. Save it. You can put less than or equal to. That's fine. Later. Click OK. Okay. Now go to the reports folder. You can create a brand new report, but I want to show you. Let's use this filter in the same report. You remember, right? Right click and edit the brand filter report. What we have done here, we have already restricted brands to 10 brands. On top of it, I want to restrict cost is less than 25,000. Okay. Now go to filters left side, public objects filters folder. Filters folder. Now double click on the cost less than 25K. Okay. Now don't do anything. Hold on. Between the brand and cost greater than less than 25K, there is an AND operator. Everyone observed that? Right click on AND operator. And right click on toggle operators. So here is the thing. You can union, you can intersection, you can do anything. And or not, and not. So it depends on the requirement, either brand filter or metric filter, both the filters, something like that. Okay. Now let's stick with AND for now. Okay. Now see the SQL view. Remember guys, so we have two filters in the reports now. See the SQL view, then grid view obviously. So we are seeing here, so it's MicroStrategy. What does it do is, it creates temporary tables for SQL performance. This creating a temporary table, name is ZZMQOO, and it's inserting the data, whatever the query data, like brand 101 to 112 or 110, and you have a having clause, total cost is less than or equal to 25K. Everyone can see that, right? Then after inserting the data into it, it retrieving by select query. Finally, it's dropping the table ZZMOO. So this whole SQL is for this session. Once you close it, it's gone. Okay. Now, see the grid view of the report. Guys, have you seen 38,000 there? Any value greater than 25,000? Three of you. Hello?
Yeah, now we can see.
Okay. Now.
No, everything is 0 to 2000.
Yeah, whatever is expected, everything looks like the same one. Now, save and close this report. Click OK, save and close this report. Tell me one thing. Three of you, you understand how to create attribute filter and metric filter, right? Do you see any challenges in creating it? It depends on the requirement, whether which operator you want to use it. Let's say in a report I want year filter, brand filter, and region filter. You put it. Then you have a metric filter. You want only values less than something, or it should be between something. You do it. Raman, Guru Prasad, and Sundar. These two things everyone understand, or do you have any questions?
I'm good.
I'm fine.
I think someone is missing. Who's that? Sundar?
Yeah.
You okay
Yeah,
with
this
this?
Yeah, I'm okay with this brand filter and this 25K less than filter. We used an AND condition, but I want to see if or not condition if we use what kind of SQL it generates. I was just curious.
We can see that,
yeah.
but let me complete the next two topics, then we'll come back to these kind of scenarios. Now understand the next type of filter. Okay, the requirement here is, everyone know what is the subquery and what exactly it does, right? The inner query will send the result to outer query. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Okay, so
yeah.
Similarly, I just want to compare the subquery with the third type of filter, that is a report as a filter. What exactly it does? Whatever you are seeing the brand filter, it has got two filters in this report, brand report. I want the output of this report should act as an input to the new other report which I am going to create. Let me repeat it. I want the output of this report should act as a filter to another brand new report. Is it make sense? Hello?
Yeah.
So is it like you are passing data set to something else, some other?
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
So let me give you a scenario here. I have created a brand report with few brands which cost is less than 25K. Now I have a new item report. Okay, I want to see only those items which belongs to the brands in this report. I want to see only those items which belongs to this brands, and of course the sum of those items should be less than 25K of this brands. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Three of you. Okay, let's do this, then you will understand slowly. Create a report. Create a item report and cost matrix. Create a item report and a cost matrix. And cost matrix. Run the report once. Run it. Then this is what the problem. So the item has got some issues with that. That's fine. No. The item attribute has got some problem. close this report, go to attributes folder, create an item attribute and use that. You see there is a space between each and every attribute because every attribute is showing the same cost total. It should not be the case. It should show as a brand how it is displaying. Okay. Okay. Pull the LU item table, create item ID, item name or item description, whatever it may be. Yeah. Item ID, first item ID, click OK. Okay. Now click item description or name, new. Click OK. Double click
yeah,
on that. Click
my
OK.
system is slow actually.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Take your time. Click OK. Save and close it. Update schema. Make sure, even yesterday we did the month. I've given a name as month 1. You give item 1. Update the hierarchies by giving parent-child relationship. Delete the old item attributes, old month attribute later. Okay, no, not now. So let's go ahead with the class. Okay. Now update schema. Go to reports folder. Okay. Go to reports folder. Can you do me a favor? Hold on 1 minute. Can you go to item attribute, item 1 attribute, edit it.
Yeah, my system is slow actually. It's revolving that thing.
Oh, take your time. I'm just telling you the next steps what you have to do. What I'm saying is go to attributes folder, edit the item 1 attribute, add the parent as brand. Edit it. Okay. Parent as brand attribute. Click OK. Save and close it. Update schema. Go to the reports folder, create a report, add the item 1 attribute, cost metrics, run the grid view, see the data is coming correctly or not. Grid view. Now it's little bit meaningful the way we are showing. Save and close this report. I'm seeing all the items and all the costs for those respective items. My requirement, as I told you, I want only those brands, and the cost filter also applies there, of that report should act as a filter to this report. The report output should act as a filter to this particular report. That's what my requirement. Now go to filters folder. So we are going to create a report filter. That's a third type. This is a unique requirement. These things, like, you need to make sure if you have any such kind of requirements, use this one. Okay. Click OK. Double click, select the third option. Click OK. Now it will ask you to select a report, as we selected attributes and metrics earlier. So select the report, select the brand filter report. Hold on, because I want this brand filter to act as a filter to item report. That's what I was saying you everyone, right? I want this brand report output should act as a filter to the item report. I want to see only those items which comes out of this brand report. Okay, because these are mutually, like, they are parent-child relations, right? Click OK now. Let me know if you have any questions. We can create a couple of things. Okay, that's okay. Click OK. Save and close it. Name it as a report as a filter. Or do one thing, just name it as a report filter. Report filter. saved. Now go to the item report. Now go to the filters at the left side. Filters, public objects, filters, a report filter, drag and drop it in the middle box, or right click and add it to filter. Yeah, you can do either ways. Now remember, hold on, when you run this report, what happens? Can anyone tell me? Hello?
It should show.
First it will run the other report, which is the filter
Exactly.
report, which is brand.
So this is what happens. First it runs the brand report and it executes it, get the result, and that result will act as a filter to the item report. Now see the SQL view first, you will understand there will be a big process of SQL. You will see first the same SQL what you have the brand report. Like you will see the brand ID is 101 to 110 and having clause with cost is less than or equal to 25K. Finally, you will see in the select clause, the final statement, you will have item ID, item name, sum of total cost. That's what you're getting it. Because it will act as a filter, then it will show you in this particular one. Now, see the grid view. We can cross-check this anyways. I'll show you how to cross-check another step. See the grid view. You are seeing only few items. Let's do here one thing. Go to design mode of the report. Look at it. It's not even crossing 25K here. Now go to attributes folder, add the brand attribute. Did you do it? No need to have the brand because we already have that in the SQL. See the grid view. I just want to cross check the data. For those brands, I'm seeing the items. Okay. Look at so in fact the brand should come first and item. You can drag it. That's fine for now. You see only those brands you are seeing which has got items. You may not have items for 101 brand. Then it's not showing. Everyone understand, right? Whatever the brands got items, it's showing in this particular thing. Does it make sense, everyone?
Yes.
Raman?
Yeah. Can you explain? Can you explain me the SQL, please? How it found?
Go to do one thing. Remove the brand attribute first. Right click on the brand. Remove from report in the bottom. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Now see the SQL view.
Oh, it's using the temporary tables to get the data. Am I right?
Yes, that's how it creates in MicroStrategy, because that's for that particular session as I mentioned. So it will be dropped automatically because MicroStrategy will generate SQLs based on the database. It won't be the same SQL parsers. If you use Teradata, it will be a huge number of parsers. If you use DB2, it's a different stuff. Oracle different, Teradata, SQL Server, Netezza, every database it's compatible with, but the generation is like, it automatically which is the best way of performing it,
Depends on the data source, right?
Yes.
But
Any
where
other
does
questions?
these temporary tables get created in?
In the same database, it will be created, and obviously it will be deleted once it is done.
Okay, no. What I'm saying is, like, does it connects to the same database where we are pulling the data from, the logical tables, whatever the source.
Can you come again? I didn't get that.
I mean, is it creating the execution space? Is it in this desktop, or is it in the database engine?
In the database.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can see scroll up totally. I don't know how many people remember my demo class when I was talking about architecture. Up, completely up, completely. You see the time up. You see the SQL query execution time is less than a second. You can see the query engine, SQL engine, analytical engine. Analytical engine, there is no any calculations. That's the reason it's showing 0. The total processing time is 14 milliseconds. Imagine this is what the powerful, analytical tool or a BI tool we have, and of course the other tools are also equally performing well, but MicroStrategy is famous for its analytical engine. Okay, it will be very quick. So no matter 100 users or 1,000 users are hitting the same report at a time concurrently, but one thing should be there. It's not like, I'm giving a vague statement that 1,000 users are hitting the same report. You should have a server capable of handling that much. The server should be, it should not be just, what do you say, like 128 GB or 256 GB, 512 GB. It depends on the server, how many, what is the infrastructure you have. Based on that, you're gonna use these things.
Pavan,
does that make sense?
Let me ask you a question. So if there are like 2 databases, you said like we cannot connect in the initial classes, right? We cannot have multiple sources for the same project. But you said like 1 or 2, I guess. You said
primary,
we can have
secondary.
1 or 2. Yeah, primary, secondary. So let us assume we have 2 databases connected to the same project. So where will be this SQL tables creation happen? In the primary,
so
or
it first depends how you're getting the data. So if this report should hit 1 project, it cannot hit 2 projects. You understand? So you should get the data, source should be 1 always. You cannot say like, 1 attribute I need from, I think someone has asked me, I think Ramana probably, he has got thousands of sources. So these things, like, as I earlier mentioned, these will not work with developer software in MicroStrategy. You have visual insight. You have another, components where data reach from n number of sources. It's kind of like, more analytical tool, which is more user friendly for at a end user level, not at a technical people, because they may have a data in Excel, CSV file, MS Access, Oracle, Teradata, DB2. They want to group everything. I can get a number of sources. I can just drag it. It may not be in a structured way, because in a text document, it will not be in a structure, even in an Excel sometimes. I can convert that and I can put it in a whatever way I want it. I can quickly do it. For that, most of the people, end users, will do that kind of stuff. Why a technical expert like you or me should do that, right? Because if everything is feasible, then why we are here? So these are traditional BI tools. This is what I've repeated the last time. So you should have a physical warehouse available. Using that physical warehouse, you need to get the data and do it. There are a lot of things in the market. If we keep on talking, one day is not sufficient. you do text analytics, social media analytics, like all these things. I can pull the data from XML, from a website, and create a report on top of it. These things are not supported by such kind of requirements. Let me tell you, okay? So people are getting new components for such kind of stuff for in MicroStrategy also. But those were, as I mentioned, ClickView, Spotfire, Tabla, Logi XML. These are the BI tools which will work in that way. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Hey Pawan, you talked about Visual Insight, which is a MicroStrategy tool, right? So that is similar to ClickView then?
You can say ClickView is totally different. ClickView is something, it's not only a BI tool. You can do the ETL. I hope everyone knows the ETL, the
yeah,
backend
it has
process.
got that all that QVD components and all that. You do the ETL and put it in the QVD.
Yeah.
What about Visual Insight? Because I thought you said like Visual Insight can access 2 different databases.
When I say Visual Insight, it's something more easy for end users to build the report, just dragging the data. You have a raw data in your source. Okay, from your source you have a raw data. You can pick it. Let's say, for example, you have, let's say you're getting some information from Excel, some information from Oracle, some information from CSV file. You can, but the fundamental thing is 3 of these sources should have a unique column to join. That makes sense for everyone, right? So if you have such kind of things, you can drag and drop it and create it in Visual Insight as well. Okay? Just dragging and dropping, build it easily.
So it won't build anything like a QVD or ClickView, but it directly accesses 3 databases or 3 sources simultaneously.
Yeah.
So, okay. Whereas in the ClickView, it actually keeps the data on its own server in the form of QVDs.
Yes. Okay. So let's go ahead with the other one. I just want to give you an overview on the filter as a filter, but it doesn't really that important. But as I have to mention, I'm going to show you, but I want you to create it.